Welcome to Keep the Faith Ministry News. Russian forces escalated their attacks on crowded urban areas Tuesday, bombarding the central square in Ukraine's second biggest city and Kyiv's main TV tower in what the country's president called a blatant campaign of terror. Quote, "Nobody will forgive, nobody will forget," President Vladimir Zelensky vowed after the bloodshed on the square in Kharkiv. In the U.S., President Joe Biden planned to use his first State of the Union address Tuesday evening to vow to make Putin pay a price for the invasion. Biden was to highlight the resolve of a reinvigorated Western alliance that has worked to rearm the Ukrainian military and adopt tough sanctions. Quote, "Throughout our history, we've learned this lesson. When dictators do not pay a price for their aggression, they cause more chaos," Biden was to say, according to advance excerpts released by the White House. Quote, "They keep moving, and the cost and threats to America and the world keep rising." Biden was also to announce that the U.S. is closing its airspace to Russian planes in retaliation for the invasion, according to two people familiar with the decision. They spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss the speech in advance. Meanwhile, a 40-mile, 64-kilometer convoy of hundreds of Russian tanks and other vehicles advanced slowly on Kyiv, the capital city of nearly 3 million people, in what the West feared was a bid by Russian President Vladimir Putin to topple the government and install a Kremlin-friendly regime. Day 6 of the biggest ground war in Europe since World War II found Russia increasingly isolated, beset by the sanctions that have thrown its economy into turmoil and left the country practically friendless, apart from a few nations like China, Belarus, and North Korea. As the fighting in Ukraine raged, the death toll remained unclear. One senior Western intelligence official estimated that more than 5,000 Russian soldiers had been captured or killed. Ukraine gave no overall estimate of troop losses. The UN Human Rights Office said it has recorded 136 civilian deaths. The real toll is believed to be far higher. Ukrainian authorities said 5 people were killed in the attack on the TV tower, which is a couple of miles from central Kyiv and a short walk from numerous apartment buildings. A TV control room and power substation were hit, and at least some Ukrainian channels briefly stopped broadcasting, officials said. The bombing came after Russia announced it would target transmission facilities used by Ukraine's intelligence agency. It urged people living near such places to leave their homes. Zelensky's office also reported a powerful missile attack on the site of the Babi Yar Holocaust Memorial near the tower. A spokesman for the memorial said a Jewish cemetery at the site where Nazi occupiers killed more than 33,000 Jews over 2 days in 1941 was damaged, but the extent would not be clear until daylight. In Kharkiv, with a population of about 1.5 million, at least 6 people were killed when the region's Soviet-era administrative building on Freedom Square was hit with what was believed to be a missile. Another Russian airstrike hit a residential area near a hospital in the city of Zhytomyr, Mayor Serhiy Sokomlin said in a Facebook video. Ukraine's emergency services said the Tuesday strike killed at least 2 people, set 3 homes on fire, and broke the windows in the hospital. About 85 miles, 140 kilometers west of Kyiv, Zhytomyr is the home of the elite 95th Air Assault Brigade, which may have been the intended target. Zelensky said 16 children had been killed around Ukraine on Monday, and he mocked Russia's claim that it is going after only military targets. Quote, "Where are the children? What kind of military factories do they work at? What tanks are they going at?" Zelensky said. Human Rights Watch said it documented a cluster bomb attack outside a hospital in Ukraine's east in recent days. Local residents also reported the use of such weapons in Kharkiv and the village of Kiyanka. The Kremlin denied using cluster bombs. Cluster bombs shoot small bomblets over a large area, many of which fail to explode until long after they've been dropped. If their use in Ukraine is confirmed, that would represent a new level of brutality in the war and could lead to even further isolation of Russia. The first talks between Russia and Ukraine since the invasion were held Monday, but ended only with an agreement to talk again. On Tuesday, though, Zelensky said Russia should stop bombing first. Quote, "As for dialogue, I think yes, but stop bombarding people first and start negotiating afterwards, he told CNN. Moscow made new threats of escalation days after raising the specter of nuclear war. A top Kremlin official warned that the West's economic war against Russia could turn into a real one. Inside Russia, a top radio station critical of the Kremlin was taken off the air after authorities threatened to shut it down over its coverage of the invasion. Among other things, the Kremlin is not allowing the fighting to be referred to as an invasion or war. Roughly 660,000 people have fled Ukraine, and countless others have taken shelter underground. Bomb damage has left hundreds of thousands of families without drinking water. UN humanitarian coordinator Martin Griffith said, quote, "It is a nightmare and it seizes you from the inside very strongly. This cannot be explained with words," said Kharkiv resident Ekaterina Babenko, taking shelter in a basement with neighbors for a fifth straight day. "We have small children, elderly people, and frankly speaking, it's very frightening." The beginning of sorrows. Quote, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." Matthew 24, 7 and 8. This is Keep the Faith Ministry News. Thank you for watching.